talk a bit more specifically about PyCap. And I'd like to invite you, Stuart, to talk about how you see PyCap leading in the Canadian VC space after all these years.
Okay, so things that we've done that has allowed us to become reaching the level of success that we're at is that when we invest in a company, we take a very analytical approach. So we, of course, identify that the main goal of any corporation and any investment in our portfolio is to increase shareholder value as much as possible and then find an exit. So where we could obviously liquidate that investment and then return the funds to our investors. And so the way our approach for doing that is to first perform a very robust valuation on the business even before we make an investment. So in doing a valuation, we might be able to identify, why is this company worth $5 million when it could be worth $20 million? So it allows us to kind of negotiate with the entrepreneur and find the right deal for both parties to facilitate an investment. But then with that knowledge, we're able to map out a growth trajectory and a blueprint for the company to add value over a given period of time, leading up to an exit at hopefully a 10x return for the fund. So that means we want to sell the company for 10 times the value the company was at when we made that initial investment. And yeah, great example of that is a company that I actually co-founded and currently act as the CFO for, called Charger Quest. I believe you had the CEO, Chris Mish, on the show recently.
We did, indeed.
And just to, I guess, recap on that, we started this company 2 years ago. It was an idea in a coffee shop. We're having a couple cortados, came up with this idea, or rather Chris definitely 100% came up with the idea. I was there to support him. And within 2 years, we were able to grow the company significantly. We raised recently $3.1 million, and we have EV charging stations throughout Canada. And we are experiencing a lot of other exciting things that we're very thrilled to share with the public once it's ready. So that's kind of an example of PyCap's approach to working with entrepreneurs. We very closely partner up with them, and we bring in a lot of resources that sometimes aren't available to other investors. And we use our skills to analyze a company and find out, like, where's the value gap? And then we fill in those gaps. And we make sure that the company is very much focused on doing exactly what a corporation should do, which is increasing shareholder value, but in the most efficient way possible. Because of my investing background and my CFO related background, and just working with early stage companies that oftentimes have limited to no resources on their own when they first get started, it's very important to be able to allocate any resource you have into areas within the company to continuously grow it. And sometimes that might not be as obvious as the entrepreneur might think. Sometimes it doesn't pay to go full tilt into research and development or marketing or sales. Sometimes you have to put that energy and those resources to something else to fill in the gaps, to get to the plateau where then you could start putting other resources into those areas. And that's why it's very important to map out that growth trajectory, identify the different plateaus of growth to grow the business over time, and then identify all the different milestones and the resources required to reach those different plateaus of value creation.